Use the most reliable cameras that have been put on the market to capture your moments. No matter what kind of camera body they have, from small to professional, they all take the best photos. In this video, we are going to talk about the top 10 best Sony cameras for any budget. But before we start our countdown, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon. Number 10. Sony Alpha A6500. The Sony A6500 is one of the best high-quality cameras made by Sony. Sharpness and contrast are both great with this Sony camera. You can control noise in the image across the whole range of sensitivity. So even with a high ISO setting, the pictures will be great. We strongly suggest using a low noise reduction setting because the normal noise reduction setting makes photos taken at high ISO settings look a bit clunky. It's one of the best choices if you're looking for the best Sony camera for taking high-quality photos and 4K videos. Number 9. Sony Alpha A6300. The A6300 is one of the best Sony Alpha cameras, and this camera is unique because it has focus peaking and focusing zoom support. Focus peaking highlights parts of the image that are in the field of focus by making them appear as white, red, or yellow areas. The standard range for ISO is between 125,600. If you need to, you can raise it to 32,000, 41,500, or 51,200. When the ISO is high, the colors in a JPEG lose their strength, and the image's details become less clear. Number 8. Sony Alpha 7C. The Sony Alpha 7C has a full-frame sensor and other high-tech features. Its body is small and not too heavy. The camera is great for vloggers because it has a built-in image stabilization system and a screen that can tilt. This model is easy to use because it does not have a lot of buttons. For example, the back panel only has a scroll wheel and an electronic viewfinder. Even though it's not the best camera Sony has ever made, it has great specs and a great autofocus system. This camera can be used in low light because it has a full-frame sensor and 5 image stabilization stops. Number 7. Sony S7R III. This camera does a good job of reducing noise and has good ISO settings. A photographer can get pictures with a moderate amount of digital noise by increasing the ISO values, up to 32,000. The highest value is ISO 102,400, but we don't think that's a good choice for most situations. In this case, you are sure to get pictures with bad quality. Choose these settings only if getting a picture of the object is more important to you than getting a good picture. The S7R III also has a wide range of light and dark. If you want to keep the highlights, you could take pictures with a low sensitivity and underexpose them. Then, all flaws should be taken care of in Lightroom. Number 6. Sony N9N. The mechanical shutter on the A9N lets it shoot at up to 20 frames per second, which is twice as fast as its predecessor. It has a lot of ways to connect because the Ethernet and USB-C ports have been updated. It also has a Wi-Fi module built in. This mirrorless model from the second generation has a more powerful battery, better image stabilization by 0.5 stop, and an autofocus system with 693 phase detection points and 425 contrast detection AF points. Also, Sony made it more weatherproof. The best thing about this device is that it has a Bionic X processor and a 24-megapixel sensor. This makes it possible to get high-resolution images that are good. You can make your photos as sharp as possible by printing them in Super A2 or A3 size. Number 5. Sony RX100VA. The RX100VA is still a very useful all-in-one camera with a small size and a low price. It has a wide dynamic range and a high image quality. This Sony full-frame camera has a screen that can be tilted and is made of metal. Sony made the size of its buffer bigger, added IAF and object tracking, and added new features to its native software. If we look at how this digital camera shoots JPEGs and compare it to similar models, we can see that some gadgets take pictures with a slight blur around the objects, which is called a halo. With the RX100VA, you can use special technology to get rid of or almost hide the halo. Images that are clear and sharp are definitely a benefit of this model. Number 4. Sony Alpha One. This top-of-the-line Sony A1 model is one of the best professional all-in-one solutions for people who want a mirrorless camera. It has a high speed, a high resolution, and extra features for shooting video. It has a mode called Pixel Shift Burst that lets you take 16 pictures in a row. The full-frame, multi-layer, back-illuminated 50.1 MP XMOR sensor allows for a 15-stop dynamic range and up to 120 AF/AE calculations per second, so this camera can handle any task. Thanks to the Bion's XR processors, you can take pictures at 30 fps and record XAVC HS8K at 30p in 10-bit format with S-Cinetone support and 8.6K oversampling for better resolution. It can hold 155 full-frame RAW images in its buffer. Number 3. Sony S7 DSLR. Unlike other Sony Alpha cameras, this one doesn't have a very high resolution, which definitely hurts the quality of the pictures. But it can be used to take pictures that can be printed on A3 paper in high quality. Now, it's getting closer to a segment of budget video cameras that let you record your trips, beauty photo shoots, or family parties professionally and for an affordable price. You can get rid of digital noise with technology that reduces noise. You can also shoot even at night if you choose a high ISO value. This Sony full-frame camera is also good for shooting video. It can shoot 4K XAVCS video and can record high-quality video even when there isn't much light. Number 2. Sony ZV1. This inexpensive video blogging camera comes with a good kit lens. It has a small body and a lot of features that are like those of other RX100 and A7 models. The XMOR CMOS sensor has a 1-inch size and 20.1 MP. It can focus using phase detection and has 315 AF points. The ZV1 is a new camera from Sony. It has a small body and comes with everything a beginner vlogger could need. You can change the exposure manually or let it do it on its own. You can also change other settings. Face and eye AF tracking in real time lets you take great photos of moving subjects. There are special settings on the camera for videographers who like to shoot food and animals. A beautiful bokeh effect is made by the bright 24-70mm lens. Number 1. Sony Alpha 7 III. This Sony mirrorless camera is the best one for making videos and taking professional photos. The device can quickly make images in the RAW format. The image quality from the 24-megapixel sensor is good enough for printing on a large scale. One of the best things about this camera is how well it works with ISO. Even at very high ISO values, it takes pictures that are clear and have little digital noise because it uses new noise reduction technology. So these are the top 10 best Sony cameras. If you like the video, leave a comment and subscribe to our channel for more top 10 videos. Press the bell icon for latest updates. Thanks for watching.